Hi everyone, this is Patty. I'm here today with a design team project for Meg's Garden using the Sherlock book designed exclusively for Meg's Garden by Carrie Jean Watson. And I have made a travel journal. I'm going to have, right after this walkthrough, I'm going to explain how I've done some of the pages and some of the items that you'll see here, including the book and the closure. But right now I think I'll just walk you through, and that way if you don't want to stay tuned for the explanation or the photos, you can opt out then. So I have just a metal piece here that has a round piece that screws through the top of it for my closure, and a piece of lace that just goes around the little knobby do to keep it closed. It's attached on the back with this pretty metal piece from Meg's. I folded over 4 ovals for the corners, and I've done it with a daisy chain stitching through the binding. When you open it up, I have added extra things from my stash, primarily Tim Holtz and the Paper Studio. I added a clock to the postcard that comes with the collection, and I backed it with some of the paper from the collection. Then I added this little piece from my stash that says noteworthy, and put in a couple of tags also included in the collection, which are inked heavily, and I just have some jute twine for the pull tabs. All of these papers are included. This is either a paper kit or a digital download from the store. You get the lined backing sheets. I did double each one of my pages for stability, so they are twice as thick. This is some tickets and just a leftover piece here to form this pocket, and then I had this in my stash with the ruler on it that I added, and I just have a tag and a little bit stuffed in there. This one says The Great Escape. This is from my stash, and you open it up, has room for pictures, and then you can tell which, I can put 5 pictures here and then tell what the 5 pictures are. This is an envelope. It comes printed just flat like this on the paper. I cut it apart and backed it so that I could have an actual envelope to put down here with a couple of little pieces from my stash in there. This would be a great place to add ticket stubs or receipts or just little memorabilia from a trip or anything that you've gone to that you want to keep the memories to. I have used Sawcrafter stencils on the papers that are the ink blots and the coffee stains. This is ribbon from Meg's Garden, and you untie it, and then you have an accordion book that goes both ways, and I just attached the last page down with a piece of paper, and this is just plain vanilla cardstock that I cut to the size of my little pieces here, my cut apart pieces, and then folded it accordion style and tied it with the ribbon here. The ribbon is attached underneath the little booklet to give it stability. Love this ribbon. Okay, there we go. And then you can see where this is stitched right to the book. This is only the second book I've stitched. This was fun. It was a little bit harder than the one I'd done previously with a cloth binding because I was going through 2 layers plus some tie back here on the back. Here is just something that I had in my stash with a little tag to slip in. This is another envelope from the collection. I just glued it down and left it rough on the top so that I could stick something inside this way, and a couple little tags and an arrow completed. Everything has been heavily inked, and I did leave it rough cut, By that I mean like it's a torn edge around the edges. I like that look. More journaling spots. A blank page for a large photo. This will hold, I believe, a 5x7 photo. And then some more tags. And now I really, really like how the pocket on these two pages turned out. I took the car from the gentleman's collection and I just fussy cut it out here and then folded it in the middle. So one side is the back of the card, which forms the pocket. The other side is the front of the card, which forms the pocket on the other side. I just think that looks so cool. Here's a couple more pieces from the collection that form another pocket here. There's also a large spot for a photo or journaling. Here is a flip out. So you can put a picture here. You can journal about it here. I added, I think this is a Tim Holtz Journey Key with some of the, oh goodness, can't remember what it's called. This is a dodo vine. And then the binding from the store. And I just created another little pocket and stuck in some cut aparts here, back behind it. But I just really like this idea that you can journal and then have your photo. This is just a piece of packaging material. Some, I think this was Simple Stories that I got this from. And it creates the pocket here with a couple little tags. This is a booklet from the paper collection for 2 photos. Actually, you could put 4 photos if you wanted to put one on the front and the back. And then the tags just go in. A couple more journaling spots. More from, I think this is a Simple Stories line. This is Tim Holtz, I'm sure, as are these. These are Tim. I take that back. These may be the Paper Studio from Hobby Lobby. And this just creates a couple little booklets to put your photos in. And then the back of the book, this is actually a paper bag like you get from the grocery store. And I just cut the paper bag up. I needed a large envelope and I thought, well, while I'm at it, I might as well make as many envelopes as I can from this paper bag. That is a super idea, is to use your paper bags to create the envelopes. The other thing I did, and I can't remember who offered this idea up, but I have a magnet stuck underneath here, and instead of using 2 magnets, I just used a metal piece from the collection from Meg's Garden, and it magnetizes right to it. That's a great way to expand your magnets by just using one and then a metallic piece on the other side. And I just have a couple little bits and bobs inside of this envelope. And it closes. And this is the back. Okay, now let me tell you a little bit about what I've done here. I took the 2 papers, this one and the liner on the inside that were full sheets, like this. I had an envelope, I don't know, I got something from physics in it, but it was a tie-back envelope, which is the envelope that has the nylon threads running through it. So I glued a piece to the back of this and to the back of this. So now I have 4 pieces. Then I glued them together, and then I used Collage Page on it to make sure that it was really going to be sturdy on the outside and handle my stitching. I didn't like the way the outer edge looked, so I went back to my plain manila paper and I took Distress Inks in Gathered Twig and Aged Mahogany. Put those all over it to give it this beautiful burnish kind of burgundy color, which is perfect with these papers. And then I went over it again with a Collage Page, a couple coats, cut it into strips, scored it, and folded it over to create the binding all the way around the outside. Now the closure here, this closure is actually this braided twine that I got from my friend Eva in London. She had sent this to me and I had it back, and when I was looking for something I thought, well, this might work pretty good. So what I did was I took this white. This is a suggestion I always tell people. If you have a choice of what color to buy something, whether it be pearls, braid, flowers, whatever, buy white. You can always change it to whatever color you want. Again, I used the 2 Distress Inks, Gathered Twig, Aged Mahogany, and dyed it. And you can see what lets them do it here, so you can see the strip. Put it this way. What a beautiful color it turned out. I don't know if you can pick up all the burgundies and everything in it. And then I went over it with a collage page, both sides. And then I still had a lot of little pieces that I was afraid was going to fray. So I picked up Fray Check. You can get this on your Sewing Notions counter. And what it is, it's like a glue for fabric that stops it from fraying out. And I used it all around the edge. And now I feel really secure that it's not going to come apart. Now you can either do it really tight by the second loop and have it pulled together, or as you add photos and memorabilia and whatever, you can expand it by just putting it on the other loop. I thought that turned out really great. So there's some hints to my book and how I did it. I hope you like it. I hope you'll give these either the downloadable version or the printed version of these books from Meg's Garden a try. They are so fun, so enjoyable, and I'm sure you would really enjoy doing it. Like I said, I used a hand-stitched method on this book. I stitched 2 pages together. Let's see here. So I've got 3 actual sections of my book, or signatures, and they're stitched together this way. They go through the papers and through the binding with this daisy chain. And in the directions, I'll not only put the link to Meg's store, but also the link to where I found out how to make this way. And you can see what it looks like on the inside. But it creates a very sturdy book. It's certainly not going to come apart that way. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I will have some still photos to follow, and be sure and check out Meg's Garden today. Bye-bye now.